So we're sailing again. We've just left Maggie on our way back up to the Palm Islands today. Probably go back up to Orpheus Island. We've got a bit of a plan tomorrow to hopefully continue on up to Zoe Bay. So if the weather lightens up for us, that's our plan. We're running downwind, got the poled out headsail, full main, and got a bit of a kind of a sloppy sea going on today. She's just coming across our starboard quarter a little bit, and there's probably nearly a metre of swell. So it's just a little bit rolly in the bigger sets, but at least it's behind us. So we're doing good numbers. Sun's just got up above those clouds, about 7 o'clock. We've got about 6 hours ahead of us at least. 6 or 7 maybe up to Orpheus, if this breeze hangs in there. It's supposed to be 15 to 20 I think was the forecast. Southeast today, pretty stock standard forecast for this part of the world. Partly cloudy, that should be pleasant enough. A little bit rolly. We probably won't fish today on the way up. We'll just get the miles done I think today. So we've just gone inside Great Palm Island, just in that little stretch between there and Fantome. Breeze dropped on us a little while back. We got down under 10 knots, so we've got the motor on. We need to do a bit of battery charging anyway. It's pretty overcast today, so we're not going to get a whole lot of solar going. I just thought I'd show you the colour of the water here. Lovely clear blue colour, very nice. Just that little bit offshore, just gets that little bit of clarity in the water. Very pretty colour. There's a couple of the islands lying off Great Palm Island. You've got Esk Island, Falcon Island and Eclipse Island, and I think that's Brisk Island. So we finished our little passage today, came up from Horseshoe Bay down on Maggie, and we're in Hazard Bay on Orpheus Island. Just thought we'd pull up here. There's a mooring here. I don't think it's going to be any different to up at Pioneer Bay, the next bay around. There's quite a few catamarans actually anchored up in the bay here, 5 of them, and a fishing trawler. So that's usually a sign of a reasonable anchorage, I reckon, whenever there's a trawler pulled up in there. So we're just going to chill here today. Hopefully the breeze will drop out tonight, and hopefully the swell especially. So it's turned into a pretty nice afternoon here in Hazard Bay. The sky's cleared a fair bit. The breeze has gone around to the east now, so it's well and truly offshore in here. And we've lost that little bit of swell that was coming around the corner here into the anchorage. So it's looking nice enough looking out to the west there now. Our plan tomorrow is to go up into Zoe Bay on the outside of Hinchinbrook Island. But we're just not sure whether the swell will have dropped off enough to make it comfortable in there. So here's something you don't see every day of the week. Sam's going to have a fish. Just getting towards the hour of power for fishing.
I've got that pretty sexy looking bait on there.
I don't think a piece of squid on a hook's very sexy, but just getting to that nice late afternoon. Sun's down. This is when they tend to come on the chomp around here, so let's see how she goes. Okay, we've hit the bottom. Got a nice little bit of squid on there for bait. Let's see how she goes. Well, there's a bite. Oh, there's a fish on. Yes, she's on already. Literally seconds.
I don't think it's very big.
I don't think it's a big fish, but
I think it's the same little fella we got last
We caught a couple of little cods earlier.
Yep.
Let's have a look at him. Swing him up here. Oh, look at the poor little fella. I reckon that's the same one we caught earlier.
Twice earlier.
Yeah, possibly. Alright, he's going back in. See ya. Not bad. That was 49 seconds. To the point where we released it.
The bottom.
Okay, we've hit the bottom. Here we go. Waiting. There it is. She's on again.
It's the same fish.
I think it's another one of those little cods. Same sort of bite. 2 fish in 2 minutes. It's another one of the same ones. Swing him in. Let's have a look at him. Yeah, it's the same fish again, I think. Starting to get a bit of colour in the sunset there now. Okay, nice little fish on here.
Beautiful.
Corrally.
For breakfast.
Yeah, just have to identify him. I don't think it's a golden because he's got those little spots all over his lips. Look a bit like a golden, but I just have to have a bit of a look at that. But yeah, I don't think he's for breakfast. I'm going to be letting him go. So she's a cloudy day today up here. We've had an early morning change of plans. We were hoping that we'd be able to get up to Zoe Bay on the outside of Hinchinbrook Island today, but I was a bit concerned with the amount of swell yesterday. It's supposed to be a pretty rolly anchorage. And when we checked the weather this morning, they were talking a strong wind warning tomorrow. So probably not really the place to try to stay tonight. So we've decided instead we're going to go up into the Hinchinbrook Channel, go and do a bit of mud crabbing. We know we can ride out anything out there, so we're not really interested in dealing with a big swell at anchor out there. So that's the plan today. We're just motoring as quickly as we can across the channel, across Halifax Bay, to get to the Hinchinbrook Channel, so that we can have a little bit of water underneath us as we cross over there. But yeah, got to be flexible. So the internet queen over here, how many bars have you got with Telstra? You've got how many?
2 bars 4G.
Aha, I've got Vodafone and I've got 3 bars of 4G, and we're still in the Hinchinbrook Channel, just north of Haycock Island there. So that's pretty good for us. Hopefully we keep it all the way up here so that we can keep an eye on this weather that's coming. It's starting to clear up a little bit now. It's getting actually quite warm. Still got the lure out. That's just looking back towards Haycock Island, the anchorage. You might be able to see the yachts on the left of the island. Quite pleasant now. Pretty calm in here now. I just said to Sam, do you want to go for a little walk over the top of this hill in front here? Well, we should be at Zoe Bay. But she wasn't too keen, so not surprised. Beautiful and slick on the water here though. Been on croc watch, no crocs yet, but had a couple of hits on the rod though, but no hookups yet. So this is just looking up the northern end of Hinchinbrook Channel. Look how glassy it is. Crazy. Off in front of us here though is where we're headed today. Just around this little point in front here into Gayundah Creek. I'll stop in there for a day or two, I think. Hopefully we can catch some fish and some mud crabs. That's the plan. We haven't ticked off the mud crab off the list yet. This could be the spot. Pretty impressive outlook though. You can see why they reckon it's a lot like Jurassic Park, hey? Some pretty serious mountains there. That's Gayundah Creek going up in there. We're heading up the next one here. Just starting to open up Gayundah Creek here. Gonna head up there to anchor, I think. As long as the mozzies aren't too bad. If they're no good, we're gonna come back out here in the main channel, I think. Pretty casual out here, so it looks nice and calm up there anyway. We're just having a little bit of a fish here. Just having a little bit of a troll. Never know, might be a little barra or something along the edge here. Be nice, that's one I've got to tick off my list. You'll notice we're sitting right in the middle of the boat though. Kinda looks a little bit crocky. Dolphins here. We're expecting crocs and we get dolphins. Where did they go? What a great shot that is. Beautiful. Hinchinbrook in the background. My two girls in the front ground. Dolphins just popped up near that mud bank up ahead. You can just see their backs glistening. Oi. Didn't expect to see that up in here. You'd have your work cut out with these ones, Robbo. Serious mangroves, dense as. I'm not sure if that's a controlled burn or not. I'd like to think so. Another one up over here to the right of Sam's head. Luckily it's downwind of us, so come and have a look at us, is he? Oh, we got a leak. quite so freaky. This is where he ran down from, down through here somewhere. Yeah, I think that's current there, but so even there you can't really see too much of a mark anywhere. Another glorious morning up here in Hinchinbrook Island. Unfortunately, for Precious, not so glorious. The bugs got her yesterday, so it's got a few bites on her. We're just going over to check our crab traps. So far we haven't done much good. We've got a few little ones, but no keepers yet, so here's hoping we can catch one. One of the things on our list we've got to do is catch a decent mud crab somewhere. See how we go. Now I'm not sure how well this is going to show, but our crocodile friend is back on the beach over there. He's just laying on the mud right down near the water, under that tallest tree right in the middle of the frame now. So we'll see how we go. We might be able to get over and get a little bit closer to him even. Sam might get her big camera out and get a better shot. So that's pretty cool. We just sat down to have some lunch out in the cockpit. We looked over on the bank and there's a croc just crawling out of the water there. Doesn't look quite as big as the one we saw the other day, or this morning even, but still a croc. Just going to see if he's going to crawl right out. He's just right on the water's edge at the moment. Hopefully he'll come out a bit more. He's going back in the water. We thought he'd come up on the beach, but he's just gone back in. He's got his head out of the water a little bit there. I don't know if he's going to swim over this way. I hope so. He's just chilling out there. He's not doing anything at the moment, except maybe watching us. Move. Going for a swim. And he's gone. You're going to need a bigger lens. So our mate's back again. He's on the other bank this time, back over near where we first saw him, but a bit further along. Oh, what was that? It's a massive jump in the water right in front of him as I was filming. Just around the front of the boat here. He was over this side of Gayundah Creek entrance a bit earlier, but yeah, he's headed back over the other side. Huh? Yeah, he just slid in the water then. He's come over to get me, I reckon. Okay, here we go. First fish for the Gayundah Creek. Just a little catfish, but a bit of fun. He's going back though. You got a fish, Precious. It's only been out there all night. It's hardly a monster, but that's the first fish we've caught for like 2 days, so can't complain too much. But it's a bit of a bleak old day out here today, so we're thinking we might have a bit of a move. The fishing hasn't exactly been sensational, so we might move back up to Haycock Island and start having a bit of a look at going back south again, I think. So Precious, how are you enjoying the Hinchinbrook Channel? It's fabulous, isn't it?
Not impressed.
What don't you like about it?
The weather?
Oh, you can't complain about this, can you? The weather is fabulous.
Would be fine if we needed to fill up our water.
And how long has the weather been like this for now?
4 or 5 days.
Yeah, it's a bit of Groundhog Day going on at the moment, isn't it? And what else do you like about the Hinchinbrook Channel?
The bloody bites.
The bugs.
Man, they attack you.
Yeah, they like you, don't they? Yeah, there are a few bugs about, even though it's been raining, especially in the evening. If you flick a light on outside, they still manage to get out there. So bugs are definitely an issue. And what else is up here that you...
The big bites, the crocodiles.
The big bodies have been meaning that we can't go swimming at all, for sure. Even in our dinghy, it's a little bit scary. We've got a fairly decent sized tinny. I think it's an 11-footer. Certainly got the grunt to get away, but you still feel a bit nervous in there.
And there's no fish.
And we haven't been catching any fish at all. No, we've been fishing quite a lot and been very poor. But on the topic of the dinghy, have a look at this. This is last night's rain in there. So I've got a bit of work ahead in a minute. I've got to get in and bail that sucker out. But yeah, it's fairly inclement, the weather at the moment. It's not ideal. And it hasn't been for quite some time. It's a bit of Groundhog Day. It's probably 4 or 5 days now. It's been wet and rainy, so we've changed our plans now. We were going to go up to Dunk Island. We're thinking now we might just head south. We've got to be back down at Hamilton Island late October-ish, so we've still got 6 or 7 weeks, but there's just not many opportunities at the moment to get south. So rather than have to rush it at the last minute and do it in weather we don't really want to do it in, we thought we might just start heading south now, and when we get a day we'll take it. Hopefully we'll get a little window of 2 or 3 days to get from Townsville back down to Bowen or thereabouts. And maybe even a trip out to the reef again would be good if we could crack it for some weather. So we've just got to try to keep our eyes open for the right opportunity at the moment. Looks like tomorrow, believe it or not, it's supposed to be 15 to 20 southeast going east and sunny. Hard to believe, but that's our plan. We're going to try and head south tomorrow, I think. Fingers crossed. Probably get a really good reach if we just play them in here.
There's one still have bait in it.
Yeah, we lost some bail. So 7 o'clock in the morning, just leaving the Hinchinbrook Channel. We're going to head south today back down to Townsville. Hopefully the skies will lift a little bit. It stopped raining last night, which was nice. It's supposed to be a bit of a sou'easter today going east around lunchtime by the looks of it, so hopefully we'll get a bit of sailing in as well. Maybe motor for an hour or two. It's only about 8 knots at the moment, so it's going to be straight on the nose, I think, by the time we clear the jetty up ahead. But at least we're underway. Got a full day sail today to get back down to Townsville, I think. This is the Lady Fraser just going past. Pretty narrow bit of channel, so we'll let him go, I think. It's a bit quicker than us. Just approaching the jetty here. Just got to run along here and then line up the leads, I think. So we've just cleared the bar here at Lucinda. Don't know how well you can see that, but the Lucinda offshore tide chart says that it was 8:02 when we crossed the shallowest bit, 1.77, so almost identical to the tide we came in on a couple of weeks ago. At that stage we showed 2.2 meters across my little shortcut. Minimum we showed here today was 2.8, staying on the leads. So it's definitely a little bit more water on the leads, not a huge amount, but it's also a bit swelly here today, so May have even been a tiny bit more if we didn't fall down the trough. It's coming out towards the end of the Lucinda jetty, and there's actually a ship out here today on the jetty. Some sugar loaded on, I guess. Southern end of Orpheus Island. It's the straight up between Orpheus and Phantom Island over here. We've snuck across in behind the Palm Islands here just to get a little bit flatter water. It was pretty bumpy out in the channel when we first kicked off there, so there's a lot of up and downing and not much forwarding. So we dived across the channel a little bit, just got under the lee there of Orpheus, and we're now sort of pretty much on our run line looking straight down towards Townsville. We've got the tip of Phantom Island, and just might be able to just make out behind that it's the tip of Great Palm Island. So probably keep motoring now. It's dead on the nose, about 12 knots. Probably made it for the next couple of hours. About lunchtime the prediction was that it'd go a little bit east, so if it goes east enough that we can get an angle, then we'll start sailing for sure. But at the moment, just trying to get a few miles under the belt. Yeah, but beautiful day now. It's just nice to see the sun again. We're pretty soggy downstairs, so after 4 or 5 days of really wet weather, but it's come good now. The forecast was right. I hope they're right about that easterly, the Savo. Looks like a beautiful sail going north. Pretty sure that's a North Shore 38. Very pretty. So we're just sneaking down the little passage in between Eclipse Island over here on the left. That's Great Palm off in the distance. A little bit joggly through here. Then on the right we've got Brisk Island. And this one back here is Falcon Island. So we're still pretty much run lining it straight back towards Townsville. Probably just stay out the front of the marina today, the duck hole there. We're hoping this breeze is going to shift around very shortly. Just starting to get a little bit of an angle. If we can get that to about 30, then we can probably start sailing very shortly. We can probably fall off a little bit. It's supposed to go east later, so we'll make that back up later. Probably just clear Brisk Island here, and then we might have a bit of a sail, I think. So we're just coming down the inside of Acheron Island here. It's a little bit of a shoal up in front. We've just got to dodge that. And then we can pretty much start heading straight towards Townsville. See Magnetic Island off in the distance there, so we're just going to go to starboard of that. Getting along nicely now. I've got about 14 knots. The breeze has gone around sort of to the east a bit, so we've got a little bit of a 2-sail reach going on here. It's still a bit lumpy, but pretty fast though. 6.5 knots sort of averaging now, so get the miles done quick doing that. Going past Rattlesnake Island, and in front of that is Herald Island. Both used for bombing practice, so be careful. Just got a bit of a sprung reach going here. Our little number 3, full main. Got a fair bit of twist in the main just to spill a bit up top. A lot more twist than I'd normally carry, but we're pretty pressured up here at the moment. So we're just coming into Townsville after a pretty big day, a big 12-hour day. Left at 6 o'clock this morning. It's going to be 5:30 by the time we get in, so big day. Pretty lumpy sea. Finally got some sailing in though, which was nice. We ended up actually putting a reef in the main at one stage, but yeah, big day. What do you think, Sam? Ready for a bevy?
Definitely. Didn't enjoy it at all.
Nah, it was just a punish, wasn't it? But it's a means to an end. So it's sundowner time in the duck hole out the front of the Breakwater Marina at Townsville. What have you got there, just out of interest?
Pina colada.
A pina colada.
In a cask.
Cask pina colada. Even better. So, tell me about your day today.
Hell on earth.
Wasn't that bad.
Starts with you get me up early.
That's it. 5 o'clock kick-off this morning.
Haven't done one of those for a while.
No, but we had a big day. We had 60 miles to do today.
Yeah.
60 miles is a big day, and it was a lot of stuff was headwind stuff.
It was a tough day. I didn't enjoy it.
It was a harder day today. A lot of motoring to start with. We obviously motored out of the channel at Hinchinbrook, and then we motored across Halifax Bay to get in the lee of the Palm Islands there, especially Orpheus, and that allowed a little bit of flatter water for our motoring, but we're still struggling to do much more than about 5.5 knots motoring. And then we got down to Brisk Island, and the breeze went around to the east a little bit as predicted, so we actually worked that out pretty good. So we had about 6 hours of motoring. It was 12 o'clock almost on the dot. We put the sails up, and at that point we got some sailing in, and the sailing wasn't too bad, was it? It was a sprung reaching sort of angle, but it's not a great angle for this little boat. We like it a little bit behind 90 degrees, a little bit after 90, whereas this was more like 60, so we work pretty hard when it's like that. We're on our ear a little bit, we're fairly pressured up, and yeah, it's hard work. So it was a pretty punishing sort of a day today. Got a nice little sunset happening out the back there. So anyway, now that we've made it in, it's all good, isn't it? We got the miles done today. We could have broken that up and done it in 2 trips, but it was good. Got it done in 1. Booked into the marina for a few nights now. So we'll go and reprovision and then start heading on south again.
A really hot, lovely shower.
A nice hot shower. The things you want, yeah.
And you can stay in there as long as you want.
Yeah, you can.
You're not on a time limit.
No, that's true. So it is nice to get a nice hot shower in, but we'll be able to go and restock, and then we'll just have a look at the weather. I think Thursday-ish next week, another week away still. It was looking like could have been half decent, so that's what we're after. Just going to get the sunset shot. So this will probably be the end of this episode, I would imagine. Have a few days off and then we'll start all over and keep on heading south now.